we flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs. Hey, what's up YouTube? Your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage. In this video, I'm gonna be working on my fuse block that I'm making for my 21 Honda Goldwing. I tried to order a fuse block from Electrical Connection, but they was out of stock. So I just decided to make my own 30 amp fuse block for my Honda Goldwing. The new Honda Goldwing has a CAN bus system, so I do not want to cut into any of the wires on this Goldwing. That could cause some serious problem with this CAN bus system. So I'm going to create my own fuse block, and my power will be coming only from the battery. So in this video, I'm going to be putting together a fuse block for my power distribution. A few things that I will be using. One of the things I'm using is this fuse box that you find on most homes. I'm going to be taking out the internal components of this box, and I'm only going to use a shell. So I have a few things, a lot of things that I'm going to need to pull this off. I got fuses, some other things I ordered. Fuse panel, have a couple of those. I may only use one, not sure if I'm gonna use both of them. May just start out using one. Got a couple fuse panels, and also this negative battery terminal hub that I picked up from Electrical Connection. So I have a lot of things in my arsenal that I'm gonna be using to make my own fuse block. Also definitely got to have my multimeter, and also I do have this isolator from Showchrome. I may even install this into my system as well. I got 14 and 16 gauge wires. Got 30 amp. Relays. So I have some 30 amp relays. These are fuse relays, ring terminals, and just a lot of stuff that I have in my garage that I will be using. I have a lot of things in my garage that I will be using. So how this is going to work. One of the first things I'm going to do is open up this panel box. I'm going to open up this panel box. And the way this is going to work, we're going to mount it inside of the Goldwing like so. Now that's one thing about the Goldwing, they don't give you a lot of room. So we're just going to have to make this work. I could even go with it on the inside wall of the saddlebag, or I may bolt it to the floor like so. Either way, I'm not going to have a lot of room. So this is going to be where all of my fuses and all of my breakers are going to be located. So if a fuse blow on the bike with my accessories, I'll be able to go directly to my box, and I don't have to try to hunt down fuses. Everything will be coming out of this this box on my Honda Goldwing. So just looking at some of the contents, all this is coming out. I'm not going to use any of this. I'm going to remove all of this so I can take out some of these components inside of the box. I'm just after the shell. Take all of this out. So now I'm just after the shell. That's all I want. I'm gonna knock out. I'm gonna knock out those knockouts. And this way, it sit like this within the saddlebag. If I don't use this, another option would be to mount this directly on the wall inside of the Goldwing. I can also use this technique. So to open this up, squeeze in the tabs. And I can mount this on the wall like so. That way I'll have room in my saddlebag, or I can mount it inside of the box, which this is my preferred method. I rather mount it inside of the box. So we're showing green is a 30 amp. Okay, so we got a 30 amp fuse. And basically how this is gonna work, this is a 30 amp fuse relay. So the power is gonna come from the bike to the 30 amp fuse relay, out of the 30 amp fuse relay into the fuse panel. If for some reason or another this fuse terminal gets overloaded more than 30 amps, it's gonna blow this fuse. So if this fuse blow, it's gonna totally shut off all of the power to the fuse panel. So this is what you call a 30 amp fuse relay. So we're gonna come out of the bike, we're gonna come into the 30 amp fuse relay, out of the 30 amp fuse relay into the fuse panel, and each panel now, since I only have 6 circuits, I'm gonna be using 5 amp fuses. So how this is gonna work. These are your 5 amp fuses. So it's gonna be a total of 30 amps max draw. So we're looking at 5, 30. So that's gonna be my 30 amps. 5 amps per fuse. This relay only goes up to 30 amps. So if for some reason it pulls more than 30 amps from the panel, it's gonna blow my main fuse and shut everything down. So looking at the wires that I've created, the ring terminals, this would be your main 12 volts. Your black would be your negative. The white would be your trigger wire or your switch. So when you turn on your switch, it'll send power down the white wire to turn on the 30 amp fuse. The white wire is going to be my trigger wire. It's going to go to the positive side of the fuse box. When I turn on the switch, it gets hot. When I turn off the switch, it kills the power. The red will be on the positive side of the battery, and the black would be on the negative side of the battery. And we're going to run that into the saddlebag. I knocked out 2 holes, one for the wires to come in, the power to come in, and the other hole will be the power going out to the accessories. Okay, so far I got the fuse panel put in. I have my wires ran to my 30 amp fuse. I'm gonna connect up the fuse panel. I'm gonna connect the wiring, and then we're gonna test the connections to make sure everything is working properly. So now that I have everything connected to the 30 amp fuse, I'm going to connect my output power to my positive, and this would be the negative. This is going to go to the positive side, the positive switch. So when the bike turns on, it will feed power to the relay. So now I can connect up the negative terminal to the battery. Okay, now that I have everything wired up, I have the negative going to the relay. I have the positive going to the relay. I have my positive trigger going to the relay. So now I'm going to verify that I do not have power in the fuse box. I will put in my 30 amp fuse and verify that the fuse panel is working correctly. And basically how this is going to work is once I get a negative ground, if I touch a power source, this is going to light up. So if I touch the positive side of the battery, I'm going to get a light on my tester. So that verifies that I have power. So what's going to happen once I put the fuse into the relay, these terminals on the side will light up. So as you can see, there is no power right now. There is no power. So if my main 30 amp fuse is blow, it'll shut down this entire panel. If one fuse blow, it'll just shut down the one terminal and it'll make the red light come on. These terminals at the top are negative, so we're not going to connect the negatives, but we do have the positives already connected. So I'm going to turn on a switch. Hopefully this fuse doesn't blow, and I'm going to touch each terminal to verify that the light comes on. So here we go. Let's keep our fingers crossed and make sure that I hook this up correctly. I'm going to turn on the bike. I'm going to go to accessory mode. I want to touch each one of those terminals and hopefully the light comes on to let me know I got power. There's one. There's two. There's three. I'm going to touch these three in the corner. If it lights up, that means I have power. There's four. There's five. There's six. So basically what I've done is created my own fuse block. 30 amp fuse maximum. So if I get more than 30 amps on the panel, it's going to blow the fuse. So basically, if I take the fuse out of this relay, none of the lights will work. So this is a safety feature. I'm going to pull the fuse. Once I pull the fuse, none of the lights should work. And this is basically a fail safe. I'm not getting any power. Now, once I plug the fuse back up, I should be getting power to each terminal. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when the bike is shut off, I shouldn't get any power at all. So once I shut the bike off, I've shut the bike completely off. I'm going to touch each terminal, and this light is not supposed to come on. So this lets me know that I hooked up my fuse terminal correctly. When I turn the bike on, I will be getting power. And the way this fuse box works, if a fuse is blown, a light comes on. So let's check. Let's check to see if I actually get a light to come on. I'm going to pull a fuse. Let's see if I get a light to pop on. So you see when I touched it, how the light popped on? That lets me know that the fuse is blown. So if I had an accessory on that particular circuit, if the fuse blows, the light is going to come on. Okay? So that lets you know which fuse is actually blown. You don't have to guess. I don't have to guess on which fuse is blown. It'll be lit up red when the fuse is blown, but I do have power now. Everything is working fine. I'm going to turn off the bike. And this is going to conclude my video of me wiring up my personal fuse block 30 amp relay for a maximum of 30 amps total on the fuse panel. On my part 2, I'm going to show you guys how I actually wire my accessories down to the fuse panel. If you guys have any questions or any comments about anything that I've done, put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is your boy Chris, just showing you how I'm wiring up my fuse block on my Honda Goldwing. I do not want to interfere with the CAN bus, so I created my own fuse box. What you guys think? Smash up the likes and let me know, and I'm gonna put out a part 2 and show you guys how I actually wired the accessories down to the fuse block. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you.